Okay, so just doing a quick recap of today. Yeah, I just did a walking tour of the old city of Valletta, got to learn about the history a bit, and I went to the St. Elmo Fortress Museum at the northern tip of Valletta, and that was really cool. So basically, I just got a lot of history in today of the city, and I kind of got used to the bus situation. I think I figured it out where to get in and off, where it's not super crowded, and get where I need to go. So that's kind of nice. So it took a couple of days to kind of like get used to it. So it was a good day overall. I had tried a couple of these pasties. I guess they really like the British style, like they're kind of like British style empanadas, I guess. I don't know. And but here they use kind of like Italian style ingredients. Well, one of them I actually had like the ricotta cheese, which is really good. I had that for like breakfast and a cup of coffee, and they're really cheap. Like for a cup of coffee and like one of the pastries, it was like €4. So, and it like filled me up basically. And I had like a meat pie. I think that was like more British. I had like peas and carrots and meat in it. So that one tasted like something I'd get in the UK. And like a cup of coffee, like Italian style coffee. They do it really good here. But yeah, overall low key day. Hopefully tomorrow I'm gonna try to like get up super early and catch the ferry to Gozo and just kind of do like a quick, hour or two there, see like the main sites. After this, I'm gonna go try the rabbit. I guess it's like the national dish. It's like this rabbit stew. So just downstairs. I'm not going. I wanted to go to this place in Gozo and like have it, but I don't know. Let's see what happens tomorrow. It's Easter. I don't know. It's Sunday, so let's see what happens. I'm just kind of like it's like Holy Week, so things are kind of crazy right now. But enjoy. Let me know. Leave a comment and let me know if you like me doing like the recaps in the beginning, if that's useful, or I should just start playing the video. All right, thanks. Okay, so today I was able to successfully get on a bus and I'm headed towards the main part of the Valletta and I'm trying to get a tour, so let's see how it goes. The bus isn't like super packed today, so it's nice. I was actually able to see. I think my hair is kind of getting like frizzed out though here. But hopefully I could get a walking tour at 10 o'clock and yeah, so if not, I guess I was gonna hang out there and maybe just kind of like bust around the island, check out different spots. I think sailing to Gozo is still kind of out of the question. It's like super windy today, so I think that affects like the going on the water and stuff. So it'd be a little bit dangerous. So, I don't know what to do. Kind of, I guess if worst comes to worst, I'm just gonna chalk Malta to like a resting time more than anything. It's like a cool. Oh man, the angles kind of like burn you. Oh my god. Woo. Like that thing can cook you. Oh my god. Look at this. Those like angles, the sun hits those angles and it like kind of like hits your eye. It's kind of crazy. It looks like I'm walking towards the old city. So technically I wasn't even in really the old city of Valletta. So I think those are the original city walls. Dang, it's cold. That wind is chilly. It's like an art display. Yeah, so I didn't come into this part of the city yesterday. So technically, I didn't even enter the old city of Valletta yesterday. It's crazy. Wow. Yeah, the city is definitely like a fortress. So crazy. It's pretty amazing. Oh, this is really cool. All right, so now I gotta look for the walking tour. All right, I'm gonna try this pastry here. I forgot what he told me what it's called, but it has like ricotta cheese in it. So let's see what it tastes like. Man, this thing is really good. It's like the cheese in it's like super light. I don't know. And the dough is like, I don't. It tastes really good. Highly recommend it. So this building here is the Maltese Parliament building. So this is where the government meets here. Because I really don't know much about the Maltese government. Malta is a member of the European Union, though. So they use the euro, which makes things a little bit easier. But kind of strangely enough, they still drive on the British side of the road, I guess. I won't call it the opposite side because that doesn't really make sense. Because whatever, they drive the British style, which probably makes things more expensive to import cars and stuff like that. Because they have to switch the side they build them on. Well, I'm gonna look for a walking tour. Supposedly they meet up at 10 o'clock, so let's see if I can find some. But yeah, it's like this is insane. Still, that wind is chilly today. Still though, thought I was gonna escape the cold by coming down to here. Yeah, but look at the street. It's so cool. So it looks like I made it on time for this walking tour, which is good. So I'm gonna try a different tactic. So I'm gonna not record this guy per se, but when he takes breaks, I'm going to stop and kind of reiterate what he said. So the guide said the capital city of Valletta was built by the Knights of St. John's, which were a group of crusaders in the 1500s. And yeah, they're the ones that constructed this place and turned it into basically a fortress because they were like super militarized. They really didn't even want to come to Malta, but it was like the only option for them since they were kicked out of Greece and Cyprus by the Ottomans. So yeah, this was like their last port. I think the Spanish owned it at the time and gave it to them, and allied with them, and basically offered the place to them as long as they protected Spanish shipping and Spanish interests in the area. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. I don't know what's up with the Maltese people, like if they had any say in any of that, but find out. So this is the Maltese Parliament building. It's like a modernist construction. I guess it's controversial in the country because it costs so much money, and there's parts of it they can't even use because it's supposed to be open to the people, but then there was protests, so they ended up closing it off. So kind of defeated the purpose, I suppose. see what it looks like from this side here. Oh, yeah. Some people are saying it looks like a cheesecake. I don't know. What do you think? This is just like a wall here. Here, I'm gonna catch up with the tour group. I wonder if they brought these in, these columns, or were they built in the Middle Ages? I don't know. So the guy just kind of told us about the history of the Maltese opera here in Valletta, and how it was destroyed twice. I think it was built a little over 200 years ago. The first time it was burned down by accident, and then the second time it was destroyed was during World War II, struck by a bomb. And yeah, it was just left in ruins. But I guess it was built at great expense during the time, even though Malta was a impoverished country, and they're building these grand operas and all these projects. So it seems par for the course of the history of this country. So I just told the story of John of Valletta. He was the founder of the city, and he was basically the founder of the modern state of Malta. It's kind of interesting. He had an interesting life. Sorry, getting back into the tour.
And then buses.
It's getting really crowded here. I think these trees here are olive trees. These like kind of bushy ones here. Oh, here's a bust of Winston Churchill.
Sorry.
Oh shoot! Ah,
Thank you very much.
fucking hell. So this is the office of the Prime Minister of Malta. It's got a couple guns protecting it.
So now we're gonna take a right. Alright, please don't keep walking down. Sometimes people down.
So this was the first church built in Valletta. Where John Valletta was buried. So they said the city was built in like 5 years. That's kind of crazy. It's hard to believe. It's kind of amazing, like the color of the buildings, like the stone that they made them out of. It's got like such a vivid color. Iron. It's kind of it's like one of the main tourist areas. Yeah, this place has little touches of British culture everywhere, like with the post boxes and the telephone boxes. It's definitely after Napoleon was ousted from this place. So yeah, after the Knights of St. John were kicked out by Napoleon's forces, the French ruled for like 2 years. Basically, made everyone angry, like the rich and the poor alike. And yeah, then the British just came in, and they were here for 1800 to 1964, and officially left in 1979 when all their naval forces left too. I think I might have lost the tour guide. Seems like they're having some sort of parade or something.
Guys, let's go see.
It's the library. It's Queen Victoria. Yeah, I don't know if you could hear the sound through that, but they're doing like a little military band parade. It's pretty cool. So I'm here on like the main square of Valletta. That's where they were doing like the military band was getting started, and I guess they're marching through the streets now. But yeah, it's pretty good size. I mean, yeah, it seems like the city is kind of wedged on a pretty narrow peninsula, but it's actually a pretty good sized square. Take a look. So it's like super windy today. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna try and do Gozo until tomorrow. I think maybe leave early tomorrow, and because just that wind, I think is just gonna make it kind of disastrous. So I don't know. I think I'm just gonna chill today here, kind of explore this little area a little bit more. We ended the tour at the National Library. That's where they keep all like the historical records for the country. But yeah, it's kind of interesting, like hearing how when Napoleon took over for 2 years. So after like the French Revolution, the French army just kind of rolled all over Europe because they switched up their military structure to professionalize it. Basically, in the past, like military leaders were appointed based on like their family, based on nobility, so they inherited ranks and titles and stuff like that. So you could have a commander who didn't know what they were doing, and they just got the job because their family was rich, or they inherited a title. The French basically did everything based on your abilities and skills. So they had leaders that actually were competent, knew what they were doing, so they were able to steamroll all the militaries in Europe at the time. And then they were trying to promote people based on merit, and that goes for the economy too. So a lot of like economic and legal structures are based on the equality of people. So they were against like titles and stuff like that, inherited titles, and so they ended up rolling into. Well, they're also against religion too at the time. During the French Revolution, there was a lot of stuff going on at the church with like the revolutionary French government was like destroying churches and seizing their assets and gold and silver from the churches, which is kind of like what they did when they rolled into Malta. The French army just kind of like took over this place pretty quickly. They only lasted the Knights of St. John only lasted a few days actually. They kind of like surrendered to the French, and so Napoleon rolled into town for a few days, and French military controlled the island for about 2 years roughly. In the process, they basically alienated everybody. They alienated the rich by making them destroy all their land titles, inherited titles. So there was no more dukes and I don't know earls and all the different royal titles anymore, princes, and they also angered the poor because they were still really religious at the time. So in order to fund the occupation of Malta, they basically went to all the churches in Malta and like they took all the silver and gold and melted it and turned it into coins to pay the soldiers, and basically took a bunch of like their food and stuff. So the island had limited resources, and the French just kind of pillaged it. So it basically opened it up for British to just come in and take over. The British blockaded the island, started the French out. The French were defeated, and the British just took over, rolled in. So, yep, 1800 to 1964, direct British control of this island, or these islands, and yeah, so that's why there's so much British influence here. I really like these like buildings with these old styles. It looks really cool. It looks very like Turkish or Arab style. I think this is like, see, look at this. This is cool. Imagine living down this street. Actually, I'm gonna take a little walk down here. It's kind of interesting. I wonder if they used to have like horses and stuff in here, animals. Yeah, I think I need to start like getting a bunch of potted plants from my backyard. I'm being inspired right now. Look at this. So now you take notes. Potted plants. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I think this place is like one of the most religious places. It's like the first time I've actually heard like mass piped into speakers on the street. So like that's kind of that's a lot of devotion there, I guess. I don't know. Like you're gonna go to church whether you like it or not. Yeah, so I think this is like an ordinary neighborhood here. I see people like hanging their clothes and stuff. I wonder if I could like walk up there to the fortress wall. Sounds like there's like an air raid signal or something. It's kind of weird. Hope that's not serious. Ugh. I don't want to think the worst. It's awful. All right, Americans, this is what you call a European dryer right here. It's how you dry your clothes. All right, so I made it to the fortress at the south end of the city. You could see all the guns there. Yeah, I think the Knights just like totally peppered this thing with forts and guns. And yeah, so the original old part of the city is over here on the other side. There's like 3 cities that were basically used since like, Greek times. So like over 2,000 years, those areas of town. And he was saying that they filmed like a bunch of movies there in that area. So like Gladiator back in the day was filmed, and the sequel was filmed there recently. And he was saying there's some parts of Game of Thrones was filmed there. I'm like, that's cool. I guess there is a budding film industry in Malta because this place can look pretty much like anywhere. Oh, cool. Oof. So you could see all the old anchors from the ships. But yeah, that's like where they filmed Gladiator there. It's on the other side of the bay. Ice cream. No.
I think they put the airport wrong.
Oh man, these things are huge. Look at those anchors. Yeah, the city's pretty amazing for how small it is. So the tour guide is saying that these entrance points to the harbor were built by the British to block torpedoes from coming in. They built them in the early 20th century, and so they can't they can't shoot torpedoes into the bay directly from the ocean. So it protected all the ships in there. It also like slowed the water down and made the water more calm in the bay. Yeah, look at that. All right, I'm entering the fortress of Saint Elmo right now. Here's the walls protecting it from invasion from land, and we'll see what it looks like out looking out at sea. Oh, cool. Here's a better view of this place I was talking about earlier. I guess it does work. That barrier seems to protect a lot of the stronger waves. So this costs like 10 euros. Let's see if it's worth it. All right, now I'm entering the inside. They're honoring the Knights of St. John. 1943. That was like in the middle of the war. Oh wow, there's a little chapel in here. There's the ceiling. This is probably where they used to muster soldiers during the war, or knights. This place had a long history, hundreds of years. Let's see what this says. was like something that's like a memorial to the Armenian genocide. They seem to be like artistic stuff. It's like some art exhibitions. Metal. That's a really pretty day today. Tomorrow's supposed to be sunny though, so if I get my act together and get up early, really prep, I'm gonna try to make it a gozo. That's my goal. But yeah, like most of the stone is like locally quarried, they said, so they brought a bunch of Sicilian workers in and they just started. Well, they dug quarries, they said, and used those as fortification in the trenches from like the stones they removed. So it's kind of like two birds, one stone right there. Right, this is like a gun storage room. These are some of the service members who were here during the war. Here's the Lee Enfield British service rifle. It's President Roosevelt signed that. So the guns from this is from World War II era. Those are some of the older cannons from probably the 18th century, Napoleonic War era stuff. Oh, they just have them pointing out. I don't think they have them set up. Yeah, I just watched a video. It's talking about the basically war history of this fort, Fort St. Elmo. And yeah, it's kind of interesting. Just the Turks actually defeated the Knights here and took the fort, but they wasted so many resources in the process that they ended up having to retreat from Malta because it took them so long. Because there's like a certain time of year that they could actually like fight, and they basically used up the entire summer season of fighting to take this place. They used up all their resources, killed way more men than they expected, and ultimately I had to leave the island because they would be cut off for the winter and they didn't have enough supplies to survive the winter. So they may have won the battle, but they ultimately lost the war to the Knights. I mean, what's it called? That's a tactical victory, but ultimately a strategic defeat. What's the big one they say? Tactics win battles, but logistics win wars. I guess we're finding that out in real time right now. Yeah, these look like the old military barracks here. Seems like they're all abandoned now. You can see the city on the other side. There's also like another fortress island in the middle of that harbor there. Yeah, I mean, the city's like kind of insane. So I'm gonna call it wraps for Fort St. Elmo. Definitely worth visiting. It's only 10 euros here, and I think it's definitely worth a sight to see. Great vistas. You get to learn a lot about Maltese history. I learned a lot. I think, yeah, if you have time, check this place out. All right, so this is the main bus station of Valletta. I was here yesterday, and it's kind of cool. I have a good spot. Once you like figure it out, then it kind of makes sense. I think yesterday I was kind of like, just seeing like buses pass me, but now I understand like they are full of people. So I just wish there was more buses though. Yeah, I probably got to wait. So I feel like I finally figured out the bus. So yeah, it took me like 24 hours. Yeah, looks nice though. This part of town kind of reminds me of like Miami or something. It's a good new development. You know, you can see marina and then the old